What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stephen J, and I'm here with Simply Steve, and we're talking about WrestleMania. WrestleMania just ended about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, and the first question I'm going to pose to everyone out there, because my boy Elliot said it, he says, this was the best WrestleMania ever. And so that's my question to you guys. Was this the best WrestleMania ever?
Had a lot of highlight moments.
Are you nervous?
No.
Because you said had a. Are you trying to speak in tongues?
My throat was itching.
Hallelujah. Glory to God. Hada. What? Are you trying to do Teddy Long? Holla, holla, holla.
No, my throat was
hurting. Holla.
What I say was, my throat was hurt. It had a lot of highlight moments.
You still doing it?
No, I'm not.
It had a highlight. This is WrestleMania. It's our WrestleMania show. What's wrong with you?
Let's do it. All right. Throat's good now. It had a... What the heck,
See?
man?
See? I think what he's trying to say is that there were a lot of highlighted moments.
Yes.
I'm going to say from the start, every match ended well. There were a lot of like, oh my God moments in, I'm going to say, each and every match. I didn't see the pre-show, so I really can't speak about that, but that's not part of WrestleMania anyway.
I will say that the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the tag team titles was pretty good. A lot of good action in that match. Cesaro and Kid are still your tag team champions. And as everyone predicted, Mizdow double-crossed the Miz, but Big Show ended up winning the Battle Royal.
I would hope that would have been cool for his career. But again, it didn't do much for Cesaro's career. And a lot of people are like, well, he's tag team champion, so what? Well, he was a singles competitor. That doesn't mean nothing because you put him with Tyson Kidd, who got kicked out of the WWE, sent to NXT, was sucky there because he couldn't get over with the people there, and got sent back. Well, let's try to put you with Cesaro to see if we can finally get you over, even as a good guy or a bad guy. That's why I don't like Tyson here, because he doesn't fit in. Now he's fitting in a little bit with Cesaro. So obviously,
because of Cesaro.
Okay, obviously you still nervous. I need to do this show by myself? What's up, everybody? This is your boy Stephen J, and I'm here alone. And this is Talking About Wrestling. Alright, so let's kick off the show. Real quick, recap. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro still the tag team champions. Apparently the show was good. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give that match?
8.
8. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal Big Show won. It was him and Mizdow as the last one, and it didn't really. I would have, if Big Show would have won, I would have given at least Mizdow like a fighting chance. Like, oh man, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, he had a couple chances a couple of times, but just didn't work out. So
I would have put him over. He could have got over that way. The kind of like the Stone Cold Bret Hart moment, where even though Stone Cold lost, he got over with the crowd because of the performance that he did. So let's start off with the Intercontinental title ladder match.
As I predicted, the match was pretty good.
Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, R-Truth, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, and
Luke
Harper. The match, I said R-Truth.
Okay.
The match was good. That is how you want to start off a pay-per-view with it hype. And the fact that the way it ended, there were some kind of moments like, I think Dean Ambrose really got hurt. We're gonna find that out a little bit later or tomorrow.
Broken head.
He got thrown through that ladder, and matter of fact, he might be hurt. Cody Rhodes may be hurt because
he's gonna be gone for a while.
Cody Rhodes, did he get power bombed off the ladder? Suplexed off the ladder. But it's the way that he landed, because it looks like he landed like on his shoulder area, whatever. You're not supposed to land like that in wrestling. The back area, with your head up and stuff like that. But
if he hurt, he coming back as Cody Rhodes.
How you know?
Well, we'll be the point coming back to Stardust. Now, if he's hurt, he's gonna take some time out to recover. Come back as Cody Rhodes.
Well, it all depends. I don't know, but Cody Rhodes got, and Dean Ambrose, He might be hurt, but we'll see. But back to the match. There was a lot of action, and just as I said before, weeks ago, they should have had Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan go at it one-on-one. And they gave the fans that because those two ended it on the ladder, going one-on-one, back and forth. They did about 50 headbutts on each other, whatever, which was great. Got the fans on their feet, into the action. Eventually, like Jerry the King says, you can't beat a goat in headbutting. So Daniel Bryan is the Intercontinental Champion.
Congrats, Daniel Bryan.
And they're trying to put it over, oh, he's had his WrestleMania moments. I will say this. There were no WrestleMania moments to me in this reign, in this WrestleMania. If there was one, I would say it would be the last match, Seth Rollins coming in. That would be a WrestleMania moment.
Since not the Money in the Bank hasn't been cashed in at WrestleMania, and that's one thing.
Not that, but also if you think about a WrestleMania moment, I'm gonna go Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and The Undertaker in that match where it just went like you didn't know which way it was going, and it was just like, oh no, you were like that, and then it was like, oh, he kicked out, yes. So back and forth like that. So if there was a WrestleMania moment, I'm gonna go label that as a WrestleMania moment because yeah, he cashed it in at WrestleMania and he became the World Heavyweight Champion. But started off with the Intercontinental Ladder match. That's how you start off a pay-per-view. I don't know if the game talked to the guys in the match. Say, look, the last couple pay-per-views, the last 6 pay-per-views have started off like bull crapish and whatever. But you know what? There was a weak match in the thing tonight. I'm just gonna say that right now. There was one weak match that just wasn't all that. We'll get to it.
I think I know what he's talking about.
But Triple H must have had a conversation with the guys in the back, say, hey, look, this is how you're supposed to start off a match. It's only saying we got 7 minutes. So this, but it still says 20. Oh, no, it still says 27 minutes. All right. We've been talking for 7 minutes. So he must have had a conversation with those guys, and that is how you start off a match. As you can see, WWE Network, it was playing, which I was going to let it play, but this fool now knocked it offline or whatever.
He unplugged the internet connector.
I didn't unplug the internet connector. Why is it connected to that?
You unplugged it, which cut that off. The internet's off right now.
No, that should be connected. That's the extender. Is it connected to the extender?
No.
Okay then.
When you plug that out, everything that cut off.
No, unless y'all plugged it into the extender, but it should be connected to the main router downstairs.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so that's how you start off a WrestleMania hype. And again, I say Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler and ended it well. And this is the opportunity where they can have these guys feud and not again where both somebody has to be heel. Stop doing that. You don't have to do that. Just let the guys fight. Just let the guys fight. So you have an opportunity after WrestleMania to have DB and DZ go head on head, one-on-one again for the Intercontinental title. You got to have Wade Barrett in there because he gets a rematch or whatever.
It'll be a triple threat.
I don't even want it a triple threat match because these guys put on.
He got to have his rematch.
Give him his rematch on Raw. Let Dolph Ziggler run in and was like, no, I want my rematch, whatever. Bam, Wade Barrett's out of the picture, and it'll just be Daniel Bryan. I think I can beat you. I beat you. Let's do it. Let's see who the best is. Whatever. You can run that for about 2 to 3 months, right then and there. 2 to 3 months, kind of like Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins thing. You can run that for a couple months if you do it right. So, what was the second match?
Randy Orton and Seth Rollins.
Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. It's funny that Seth lost, but he won. So, this too was a great match. It went back and forth. Of course, the highlight was the RKO at the end. Seth Rollins went like 12 feet in the air.
RKO off the curse.
And he caught him in midair with the... I asked you guys a question. Who had the best move? Was it DDP, the Diamond Cutter, or Randy Orton's RKO? By far, when you look at Randy Orton's highlights versus DDP's highlights, Randy Orton's RKO, clearly DDP started it. And I don't know if, I think maybe the Dudley Boys or somebody at ECW may have started it. I could be wrong about that, but DDP put it on the map. So I will say that. DDP put it on the map, but Randy Orton has taken it to the next level. And so that match to me Well, first, on the scale of 1 to 10, the first match, I'm gonna give that match a 10. That was good. The ladder match. The Randy Orton Seth Rollins match, I'm gonna give it a 9, maybe a 9, 8.5. I'll give it 8.5. 8.5. Simply because it was good. It just wasn't as good as the first match, but it did not fail to keep us entertained because there was a lot of pinfalls and kickouts on that match. But in the end, Randy Orton prevailed, which we did. So the question is, what's next for Randy Orton? Is he going to go after Seth Rollins now that he has the World Heavyweight Championship? I probably can see that going. I want the title back. In comes the Authority. No Randy.
Like he's going to say, Randy Orton never got his rematch. So, and then if they're still going to continue the feud, then like you said, it'll be the best opportunity.
And the fact that Brock Lesnar did resign last week.
He's scheduled to appear tomorrow night. Unless he won't because of his busted head.
So, please, he better show up. He better show up. Anyway, so I would love to see like a triple threat. Roman Reigns is out of the picture because he lost and he didn't get it done. So for me, I would love to see a Seth Rollins, Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar triple threat match. That to me would go well because again, we've never really seen Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar go one-on-one except for that one match when Randy was a rookie. But nobody remembers that. And I still think they can play off of that if they do it right. So, that's just my opinion. What's the next match?
Triple H and Sting.
Triple H and Sting. I was surprised that this was the third match. I figured this was going to be at least the next to the last match, or the couldn't be the last match, but next to the last match. I really thought that was going to be next to the last match.
I want to say Triple H entrance was cool. Terminator and everything.
Oh, come on, that was it was alright. I didn't really pay attention to it, so when it came out, but down to the match, Sting still got it. I will say Sting still has it. He death drop, Scorpion death lock, Stinger splash. He got it all. I think the match was not that good because even during the match, I was saying, this is boring because there were certain areas in the match that were boring to me. That was like, okay, here's one old guy fighting an older guy. But it's just, it kind of reminded me of kind of like Mick Foley and Ric Flair on TNA a couple years ago. And they spent 12 minutes going back and forth talking about nothing. I'm like... So, the match wasn't okay.
It was okay.
But when
the highlight of it was...
when DX came down...
Hold on, first of all, I didn't even know it was a no disqualification match.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't know that either. So when X-Pac comes down, then the New Age Outlaws come down, and they're on Triple H's side, and they go on against Sting, and then the NWO comes out with Hulk Hogan, Hall, and Nash, and they finally came out with Hulk Hogan's music, but they didn't get to the part that I like. And Hulk did his little guitar thing. WWE, that right there tells you that Hogan likes that music versus I'm a real American. No, he wants to rock. He wants to rock. So them coming down and facing off against DX, it was kind of the Attitude Era all over again.
The Attitude Era.
Because you had the New Age Outlaws, and you remember it was Triple H, the New Age Outlaws, and X-Pac and China that went to WCW. And when they drove up to the door, they were banging on the door. Guess who was on the other side of that door? It was Kevin Nash and Razor Ramon, Scott Hall on the other side of the door. So, and as we saw in the video, Kevin Nash was like, let's open the door, but Bischoff wouldn't let him open the door. So it was kind of like that. A retro, that what we wanted to see, DX versus the NWO back in the day, but we really never got to see, but we kind of got to see it tonight. So that coming down and those two battling, Hulk being on and NWO being on Sting's side, so the black and white versus the WWE all over again, which was pretty good. So it brought the match up for me.
It did.
That was from a 5 to about an exciting 9, because then
HBK, man,
they started fighting. They actually got into the physical. we have not seen Hogan get physical with anyone in a while, and he got physical. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall got suplexed or back body dropped. Now, I thought he was crippled, but obviously he ain't too crippled. And I know they all got paid 6 figures to do that. X-Pac got the rung, at least Kevin Nash and whatever. Kevin Nash did his signature knee high and got pushed down, and he grabbed his knee.
He got hurt, yo.
And so I'm like, oh my God, Kevin Nash got hurt again. His first move back in years, and he got hurt again. You remember the last time he was in WWE in the ring? He did that one move in the corner, and he grabbed his knee and got hurt. And then the king was like, oh, Kevin Nash is hurt again. I said the same thing tonight. Oh, Kevin Nash is hurt again.
Hold his leg as soon as he got put down, man. It was
so
funny.
I'm like,
oh, man.
but that whole scene brought it up to the point where I'm like, okay, this match is now good. Then Triple H had the sledgehammer, Sting had the bat, Sting broke it through, and
HBK, I didn't think he was ever going to do that.
That's the thing. They weren't getting it done. HBK comes out of nowhere, and I obviously turned around and did not see it. HBK comes out of nowhere, sweet chin music on Sting. Triple H gets the pin.
He kicked out.
Well, I'm just skipping ahead. Right. I don't do play-by-play every second on there. Well, he said your mother and here, and then Sting was like, no. And then Triple H was like, yes. And he was like, no. And he was like, yeah. That's how he tells the story. I give the main points.
You making it sound as if Shawn Michaels hit the music and it was over.
Okay, technically it was. It was over like 30 seconds after that. Yeah, he may have kicked out, but he still won. So Triple H ended up getting the victory. Him and Sting shook hands at the end. I kind of thought that Sting was gonna win that, but
we all thought Sting was gonna win.
I thought Sting was gonna win that.
He's from WCW, and I don't think there was no way he was gonna win.
The question is that the last of Sting?
That's what he said.
I want to see. Sting said that?
Yeah.
When did he say that?
He said it in an interview. He said that WrestleMania 31 might be his last match. He said he's open to more, but he said it might be his last one.
Well, the WWE on their Facebook page posted a picture of Sting versus The Undertaker, asking the fans. They posted it, saying, would you like to see this match or whatever, or something like that. And it got like so many hits or whatever of yes, whatever. So I don't think that's the last we see of Sting. I'm going to say if they can bring Take back for SummerSlam, him and Sting 101
he gonna be at SummerSlam.
Would be pretty good. Take old man, he don't need. No, just get one more match out of him, and then that's it. I don't want to wait another year to see something when I can. I'm talking about it now.
It's Rockin' Cena too.
Who?
That was gonna be tomorrow because Taker and Sting are both scheduled for Raw. Somebody gonna call out somebody, and they gonna set it up for next year.
Nobody wants to see that. I don't think that's going to happen. I do the predictions around here, not you.
All right.
I'm thinking Take might just announce his retirement tomorrow. And if he does announce his retirement,
it's going to be
look for all the wrestlers to come out and pay homage, which is going to be hot. If he does retire, maybe Sting will come out and was like, no, I want to see if I can go with you and see who the best is or whatever. Bam. So that would be a way to go, and maybe do it on Raw. If they did it on Raw, that would be hot. Then Tate goes out that way, and then he can retire. Then I'm good. Bye, Tate. Peace. It was good seeing you tonight. So that match again for me was like a 9 or 8.9. I'll give it an 8.9 because it started slow.
Like you said, it was and then when everybody got involved, especially HBK, man. So I'm gonna give that a 9 at about 10 too.
And what was the next match?
I believe it was a Divas Tag Team match.
I don't really want to talk about that, but Paige and AJ won. So okay, whatever. So
and I believe after that it was whole Rock and Stephanie and Triple H.
Are you sure?
I believe so.
So The Rock came down, which was cool to see The Rock, but I'm just going to tell y'all that just right now. Hurry up and look up the card and see who was in WrestleMania so we can make sure. That was way too long. I love The Rock, but he took about 30 minutes before he spoke because the people kept chanting his name.
I was agreeing with Stephanie. Can y'all be quiet so we can hear what he got to say?
So I'm like, okay, Rock, he's about to speak. He didn't even get to do his finally. He didn't get a chance to do finally. I'm mad about that. But it was good to see The Rock. But that whole exchange between Rock Triple H and Stephanie, and then Ronda Rousey coming in, whatever, was just way too long for me. Way too long for me. So it was good to see Rock beat down on Triple H, possibly a SummerSlam match there, and Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon.
That won't happen.
That is a possibility, because she was on First Take last week, and she was like, they was talking to her about boxing, and she was like, if I can do it in an octagon, I can do it in a squared circle. So it'll be interesting, just because Stephanie ain't no punk. She worked out in fitness, whatever, and this, that, and the other, so she can get in the ring or whatever. So
yeah,
look for possibly that. But again, I thought it just took a little bit way too long, but it was still funny because The Rock made me laugh. So,
alright, so the next was Cena and Rusev.
Cena and Rusev. What would you give this match?
I'm gonna give this match a 6. Because, Rusev lost, but it didn't feel like a big deal.
I gave this match a 4.9.
Even though Cena won, he still can't give him his props, man.
I am not going to give him his props. Because here's why. John Cena is not a good wrestler. You can't wrestle.
They were singing their John Cena's suck song with his song tonight.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The match would have been okay, but Cena
just knew he was going to win. So
you knew he was going to win, but Cena starts off doing his Hulk Hogan moments, that I call it, that, I'm going to go for the win now, this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden, I'm getting beat up for 30 minutes, and let me come back, and this, that, and the other. And the way that he won, Rusev knocks Lana off the rope, and Cena gets the win. It cheapens the win. Because it's not a clean pin in wrestling.
I'd rather see him tap out.
It's not a clean pin in wrestling terms, as far as wrestling goes. Come on, you can't. Whose decision was that? It couldn't have been Rusev. He doesn't have that clout yet. So it's not like he's going to say, I quit, I'm going to go to WCW, or quit and go to TNA. What? Please. Buy Rusev, we'll get another Russian that was born in Harlem, New York. So, to me, I gave the match a 4.9, because Cena was going to win, this, that, and the other. The fans wasn't even really with it. I mean, they were just glad that USA. Because here's the funny thing about it. When that whole scene, why did they show all the Republicans? No Democrats, but just Republicans. But I'm an independent with Republican beliefs, so they doing all the American stuff, which was hype, which was good. And then the fans was like, yeah. Then John Cena's music hit, boo, boo. So I was cracking up on that. That was just funny, because it went from America the Beautiful to John Cena to suck.
Well, I will say one little thing that was kind of impressive was his jumping off the second rope and hitting this little stunner.
Yeah, that was a good move, but nobody really saw it.
Because it's dive to the replay.
Yeah, nobody really saw it, because when the fans see it, you hear the ooh, the ah, or whatever. You didn't really see that. They didn't really react to it. But Michael Cole tried to play it off. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like this come from John Cena. It's kind of like what Vince McMahon used to do back the day when he was the commentator on Raw. When he didn't know what the move was called, he'd go, ooh, what a maneuver. That's what he did. Ooh, what a maneuver. So, to me, I gave it a 4.9. It wasn't the best. And if I'm going to be generous, I would give it a 5. I'll be generous. I'm going to give it a 5. So, what's next is a rematch. Whatever.
That's where Rusev will tap out.
I can't see Rusev winning the title back unless, the only way I can see is John Cena wanted the title, number one. The only way I see him losing is if there's a run-in that, like Bray Wyatt, to make John Cena lose, and he lose to Rusev, and then John Cena starts feuding with someone else. I'm just saying, not him and Bray Wyatt, but if someone comes in and makes John Cena lose, like a Seth Rollins or something like that, and then, oh, now I'm coming after you, Seth. Now I want the title for the 16th time, and I shall be Ric Flair. No, you'll never beat Flair, John Cena.
You know he's going to win it more than Flair, and you know they will. Vince will let it happen.
Please. Even though John Cena is his son, which I really do think, because Vince is from Mass and John is from Newberry. So.
Alright, so the next match was Take and Wyatt.
I had no feelings about this match coming in.
Man.
I had no opinion about this match coming in because I said the same thing. Take was old. I really thought Take was going to come down there in a walker. I really did. I was looking for him to come down with a walker with his white hair looking like Kevin Nash. But he dyed it. So I was like,
drew it back.
And you can tell that he dyed his hair because he had a black scalp. So
what the boggles the mind is how the heck, man. Take 50 years old, but Sting looked better than him in the ring. That's a shame. And he 56.
I don't know. I ain't offering no suggestions, no hints at what I think is going on, and why Taker can't move like he take. What I say? 2 words. Take old, man. Take is old, and it showed it again.
It did.
But I will say,
he did win.
I'm gonna give this match a 7.5. 7.5 because it was some good highlights. Bray hit Sister Abigail a couple of times.
We thought it was going to
Take,
again.
I thought it was over, and I really thought it was when after he hit Sister Abigail, and the referee was going out for it. I was like, oh no,
he done lost again
because everyone was talking about this is him putting Take over. This is him putting. But the coolest moment, the moment of this match, was when they both were down. And Bray jumped up into the tarantula, his back thing, and then Take stood up like that and looked at him, and Bray sank down like, kind of like the dominating dog, poking down the other dogs like, no, I'm still the dog of this yard or whatever. So that was the moment in that match. Take obviously won. It's my opinion that he will fight Sting tomorrow night on Raw.
He will
in
not.
A retirement match.
He will not.
In a retirement
They're
match.
not going to waste Taker on Raw.
In a retirement match, so he can say goodbye.
He will be back.
Why do you think he came back at WrestleMania? Because he didn't want to end his career in a loss, the way he lost. Even though it's not real per se, the outcome.
He said if he want to leave with a win, he will leave with a win.
You heard it here first. I'm saying
right now. They're already talking about WrestleMania 32 and how they want to make record-breaking things in Dallas next year.
Hey,
and they're gonna have they said they're gonna have a lot of. They said they're gonna have a lot of older wrestlers. Meaning Take is gonna be there. They said Rock, maybe even Stone Cold. Who knows?
Well, if they do it again, they're gonna have to have Ric Flair in that ring.
They said Ric Flair ain't gonna be there.
How are they gonna say Ric Flair ain't gonna be there? When he gonna die?
I mean, he's gonna be there, but he ain't wrestling.
Of course. Well, no. Ric Flair was just in the old guys ain't wrestling. I don't want to see Kevin Nash wrestle for him to get hurt again. I don't want to see all that. No, that's stupid.
DX versus NWO is gonna be next.
No, that'd be dumb. But I will say that arena can pack like 60,000 right then and there. So they may just well top the Pontiac Silverdome that had 90,000 people in there. So let's see how many. Where's my phone at? See how many people can fit in Dallas Stadium. Where's my phone? What was the next match?
Brock and Lesnar. I mean, Brock and Roman Reigns.
So Brock is 2 people?
Brock, Lesnar, and Roman Reigns.
It was good to see Take.
Good to see Take back.
Take back, and
but he was slower than last year.
I don't know where they're going with Bray Wyatt. Here is a guy that's unique. You don't get uniqueness that has mic skills like him. And I'm going to give you the top guys that have mic skills and past, present, and future. Rock is always number 1. Paul Heyman, I'm going to give at number 2. Ric Flair, number 3. But I'm going to throw Bray Wyatt at number 4. Because he's the classic guy that I'm going to hurt you and this, that, and the other. You actually believe that he really believes that he, like how I really thought the Warrior thought he was a god and he was really a warrior and stuff like that. Warrior really believed that. He really did.
Taking his character a little bit too
Bray, I ain't gonna say he believes it, but he makes you believe it. So now we're gonna go to the main event.
Man, Roman Reigns got booed in there like I don't know what, and he didn't even do anything.
How many seats are at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas?
He didn't do anything.
AT&T Stadium has a capacity of 80,000.
80,000 seats in Texas Stadium. they can get like at least about another 10,000 on the daggone field. So if they do that, please. Which stadium in the United States has the most seating? Pontiac. List of stadiums by capacity. All right, so go ahead to the main event.
Yeah, so Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns got booed, and for what? He did nothing, absolutely nothing. But I can really see him going heel tomorrow. A lot of speculation talking about Paul Heyman might, betray Brock Lesnar for Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns got beat up.
I didn't hear that.
I heard that.
I did not hear that.
Heard it from Bleacher Report, from Big Nasty. He said that might happen.
Big Nasty don't know a lot. I'm sorry.
He really don't.
He don't. Sorry.
But yeah, he got beat up. Like, I mean, he was getting suplexed. It was looking like SummerSlam all over again. I mean, they was cheering for Brock and everything, and surprising ending. I wouldn't say surprising.
Well, hold up. The Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan has 82,000 seats, and they got like 90,000 back in WrestleMania 3, I think it was. So Dallas has 80,000, so they may be close. They definitely may be close. Yeah, so yep, they may be close to breaking that record. I'll try to pile as many people as I can pile in there. So we at the main event, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. They did no hype on this match whatsoever, which really ticked me off. So I really couldn't give an opinion on it or what to expect of it, other than them shaking the belt last week on Monday Night Raw. So
it was so confusing because we really, even though no hype was in it, we still didn't know who was gonna win.
I thought Brock was gonna win. I didn't think Roman Reigns was gonna win. I didn't, because the only way I did not know is because I didn't know if Brock was going to re-sign. If Brock didn't re-sign,
Roman Reigns was going to win.
Roman Reigns was possibly going to win. But once it came out that Brock's time, which was on ESPN and everything, and they were talking about it everywhere, Brock says no to UFC, WWE, whatever. It was big news everywhere. So once I knew that, I was like, oh, Brock's going to win.
And it looked like it. And the thing that bothered me was we were all thinking that Seth Rollins was going to cash in. But Brock was dominating the whole match. And I was like, okay, so there's no way Seth Rollins is going to cash in. Brock Lesnar is like at full, strength. There's no way he'll lose. And then he got pushed into the steel post and was busted open and almost got counted out. Because he was looking at the ref. The ref was right in his face counting, and he was looking at him like he was confused.
Who?
Brock. He almost got counted out. He was looking at the ref like he was confused or whatever, like he didn't know who he was, and then he got back in the ring. After a couple Superman punches, spears.
So but for me, the match started off kind of like Cena and Brock.
30 seconds in the match, he got F5.
He got F5, then he got German suplex like crazy, and he cussed on stage live TV. Suplex City is what he said, and then he said something else after it. But the match started off like, okay, he's dominating Roman Reigns. And what was weird was that Reigns was smiling, kind of like getting beat or whatever.
Like he knew he was
I like this or whatever. It would be funny if the Shield comes back together or whatever. Or him and Seth teams back up. But that's what I was thinking at first. But then, Brock dominated, but then he got him, whatever, and then threw his head in. Brock was bleeding. Then Roman Reigns. Nobody can do a Superman punch like Roman Reigns. I've never really seen it done other than MMA, and the guys I've seen it done in MMA can't do it as good as Roman Reigns, and maybe because that's real and this is not. But Roman Reigns does a mean Superman punch. So the match was pretty much good, and then it got even better when Seth Rollins came in. And here's what I thought when Seth Rollins cashed in the title. I'm thinking Brock was going to get up F5, and he was like, nope, like he did in the past. I'm not going to cash my title, my belt in. I'm going to wait. No, I changed my mind or something like that. I really thought he was going to do that, but he jumped right in there.
I didn't know you could do that right in the middle of the match, but I guess they really mean cashing in anytime you win.
Yeah. Yeah. So to me, the match was a 7. The match was a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins came out and it bumped up for that minute and a half or 2 minutes or 3 minutes that he came down there. He raised the bar from a 7 to about a 9, to about a 9.5. I'm gonna say, and the shock value, I'm gonna give it about a 10. So Seth Rollins coming down brought it up from a 7 to a 9.
Yo, some people was
whatever.
Some people was like this.
Yeah, it wasn't that shock value like with the Undertaker last night. I think the camera was just looking for people. Oh, let's look for people who are shocked. Okay, we got one right there. There's Elias again. Whatever. So they were looking to get that, but all in all, I thought Seth Rollins wasn't gonna win. But
I really thought Brock was
I like Seth Rollins number 1 because every time he lose, the next day on Raw he comes out and act like he didn't lose, and he talks trash like he didn't lose. But I said that Seth Rollins might do a run-in.
Everyone, like I said, everyone had a feeling that Seth Rollins was going to cash in, and everybody was right. And Seth Rollins is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
And so
you know there's gonna be a big celebration tomorrow.
They're gonna do it. The Plan B became the next champion from the champion, which I gotta say, does Seth Rollins deserve it? From his match at, what was it, between the Shield versus the Evolution?
That was Extreme Rules and
Extreme
Payback.
Rules. From Extreme Rules,
when he helped him win both times,
till now, his match with Ziggler, his matches with Dean Ambrose, his matches with Randy Orton and I think Daniel Bryan,
one match with Daniel Bryan on Raw,
have been all great matches. He did slow down after the Dean Ambrose thing, I thought, but you know,
that's because he was with Cena.
I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him. I ain't mad at it.
No,
I ain't mad at it. I think Seth Rollins, I would say he kind of earned it. So who had the bigger night? Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Undertaker. I gotta say,
take it back.
The biggest night was Seth Rollins, followed by Undertaker, followed by Daniel Bryan. Although they tried to push Daniel Bryan like, oh, this is a year, he shocked the world again. No, it was a good match.
It definitely was not WrestleMania.
No, it wasn't. It was a good match. It was definitely a good match, but it wasn't like it was last year. So I'm back to my original question. Was this the best WrestleMania ever?
Well, before this, what did you think was the best WrestleMania ever?
Really?
Yeah.
The Forgotten WrestleMania I thought was like the best WrestleMania ever. That was the WrestleMania in Chicago.
Oh.
Let me see what WrestleMania was that. And that was like the smallest WrestleMania because they were like in a convention center. When was WrestleMania in Chicago?
According to Wikipedia, WrestleMania 22 was the 22nd annual WrestleMania professional wrestling pay-per-view event produced by World Wrestling Entertainment. It was presented by Snickers and took place on April 2nd, 2006 at the Allstate Arena in the Chicago suburb of Rosemont, Illinois.
Yeah, so
I believe WrestleMania 22 was... Oh, yeah, that was Cena and Triple H.
No, Cena and Booker T.
No, Cena and Triple H.
Booker T.
Cena and Triple H.
Let's see. Big time was the tagline. I dare you. Let's see. Attendance was only 17,000. That's why they call it the Forgotten WrestleMania, because it was like a small venue. That arena was not big at all. That was a time, I think, was that during the Monday Night Wars? 2006? But I think it was during the Monday Night Wars, but it wasn't as big. But for me, action-wise, it was like one of the best WrestleManias because it started off with Farouk and those guys with trash cans and everything. Yeah, it was John Cena and Triple H. But
it was wait, let's see here. The first match was Big Show and Kane defeated Carlito and Chris Masters in a tag team match. Rob Van Dam with Money in the Bank. JBL beats Chris Benoit for the U.S. title. Edge beats Mick Foley. Boogeyman beats Booker T. Mickey James beats Trish Stratus. Take defeats Mark Henry. Shawn Michaels beats Mr. McMahon. Rey Mysterio becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. And John Cena beat Triple H.
And I'm not thinking about that had to be it, but I could swore I remember Farouk and those guys. It was an 18-man interpromotional battle royal. Viscera last eliminated Snitsky. I remember him. I never liked Snitsky. I just never liked him. But I think that was it. I thought that was a really good WrestleMania. It was when they were on their butts. They were getting killed. But I could be wrong about that one.
But as for this WrestleMania as a whole, I'm going to give it a...
WrestleMania 23.
I'm going to give it an 8. It was pretty good. A lot of great matches. Again, you know, great to see Take. Shock value. Seth Rollins winning the title. A lot of great matches. Love the DX NWO moment. Oh man, still can't believe Shawn. But you know that's Triple H's best friend. So
WrestleMania 21.
So yeah,
I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9. I didn't say oh yeah. I gave it a 9 because it wasn't, each match was like, it was like oh man moments or oh my god moments, OMG moments. And
so
each,
the OMG moment
except for John Cena's match and except for the Divas match, those are the only 2 matches that was like, oh man.
So the old man moment for Taker was just him being back?
No.
Was it when they both stood up?
When they both stood up was like that was the signal. That was the moment.
Yeah, because he did look like he did.